So the big question of the day is, where am I off to? Well, it's got to that time of the year again where the MOT has run out on the van. So we popped 4 new tyres on it, and we found one other little job that needed doing. One of the steering gaiters was split, and we're off for an MOT test. Let's hope it passes. The one thing about waiting for an MOT is it gives you time to go shopping. So nothing like a quick trip down to the local camping shop to have a look around. I wanted to buy a portable barbecue to chuck in the back of the van, and I think I found it. Now that is what I call a barbecue. Wow. Okay, so these were a little bit out of my price range, and the thought of jamming one into the back of a Mazda Bongo didn't quite work either, but I could get a job in an orchestra playing the drums, hey? What do you think? No, I know exactly what I wanted. I'd seen several reviews for the Calipati grill, and I know a few people have got them. They're small, they pack up, they're light, and they just work brilliantly. So they were on offer, and I couldn't resist. That was going to be the purchase of the day. And then I'd go and find out how we'd got on with the MOT. And there it is, just a little bit of work to get it through. 4 new tyres and a new steering gaiter, but we have a new MOT. With the wheels sorted, there was only one thing to do: aim the van at my favourite paddling river and just take off and get the kayak out. So all set for a solo paddle. I got myself in off the bank here, and I'm not afraid to admit I nearly went in, I nearly turned it over, but here I am, ready for a paddle on the River Great Ouse. A little bit windy today as well. Essential stuff for canoeing. One of my pet hates is fishermen who A, don't pull their lines in when you're canoeing, but secondly actually cast in front of you. In an inflatable canoe, that's probably not the best thing to see or have to contend with. Hello. Wait. Just move the camera up a tiny bit. And then yeah. Having as much fun on the water in their little riverboat as I'm having in my canoe, or we have in the Sea Line S34. We're all on the same water. Not far off the portage for the River Inn, which I can see in front of me. That's where the yellow steps are, and just behind that is the lock, Eaton Socon lock. There's a couple little day moorings there that see, let's just gun it backwards there. Gun it backwards, quick, catch that mooring. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, whether they're trying to moor up or just having a crazy turning around experience.
As I neared the portage, I felt thankful that there wasn't a crowd standing there watching, because one of the things that I have difficulty in doing, as I've got a little bit chubbier, is getting in and out of the kayak. The only way that I find that I can do this safely is to implement a new technique. It's called the stranded walrus technique, where I just straddle myself out. It's funny, it looks awful, but at least I didn't fall in.
This is my most unruly getting out the canoe manoeuvre you'll ever see. I'm not going to do the sitting manoeuvre, I'm going to do the body roll manoeuvre.
Just before I went up and faced all the crowd that were just laughing and cheering and have my quick beer before the paddle back home, I decided to pay a visit to see if anybody was aboard the Whistling Wombat, otherwise known as the Nomadic Crowbots. It's a fantastic YouTube channel, it's one of my favourites, and they make me laugh every single episode. But alas, they weren't on board today.
So, here is the Crowbot, but no Chris and Becca. So I'm just stalking their boat. And there is the famous turning corner. And I'm amazed they don't hit the concrete. So that's pretty amazing. Absolutely awesome. Just on my way back from the River Mill. Nice little lunch of a bratwurst hot dog
and chips, a couple of beers, and back on the river. The sun's come out and it's feeling just a little bit warm. Lock's just been opened behind me, and we've got a tiny windy bit of current just running this direction. So, nice gentle paddle back. Look at this. This is what paddling on the river should be, and if you can see my grab bag in front of me there, I've got the waterproof bag from the canoe, and in there I've just got my coat and a few bits and pieces. Just kind of handy when you get somewhere, you've got a bag to put things in as well. This is lovely. And there's a little garden where the kids were running around on their little ATV 4x4 earlier. Wow, what a garden to have. How lucky they are. And I'm just going to sit back, relax into the chair, keep the canoe straight, and just potter back nice and slowly. I've been trying out different configurations on the Alameda since I've had it. The reason for that being is I quite like the idea, as I've mentioned before, of solo camping, just taking away, chucking some stuff in the canoe, tent, cooking stuff, unpacking it up. And I've been kind of playing around with that really, with different load configurations. So I've got a few more bits in the grab bag today to just kind of balance the weight up to see how the canoe performs. As you can see, it's just drifting along quite nicely. There's a couple of people swimming in the river just ahead of me. Hope the fishermen don't chuck their lines in and try and fish them out. But can't think of a better day if you want to swim in the river. However, this river is slightly cleaner than the ones we have down in my area of the woods, where we seem to have massive problems with pollution at the moment. Real massive problems. This is just lovely though. Onto the footbridge that goes to town. And about to be overtaken by a paddleboarder. It's just like having a tub in your back garden, isn't it?
Well, it is our back garden.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I think we need to carry on going down now.
Yeah. It's when you start walking that you got the problem. The wizard. A Freeman and a Seamaster by the looks of things. Maybe not. Maybe it's an older Norman. What do you think? Is it a Seamaster or is it a double-ended Norman? What do you reckon? Jacaranda. And we'll continue our journey. Just nice and gentle. So let's just see, kind of, with a bit of effort and a little tiny bit of current, where we sit with speed. I think that's a fair turn of speed. That's 3 or 4 knots. That's doable. And just get it nice and straight, and then I'll just take off the gas and drift a little bit further. Why not? Lots of dragonflies around I'm watching at the moment. That's not unusual for this time of year, and it's good to see. It's good to see actually when you have a good look at how many insects there are living in the reed beds at the side of these rivers. We see this a lot on the Broads. However, the sad fact to life is the water quality on the Broads isn't what it used to be. It's a lot less than it is here, and there's many areas of the Broads where you never see people swimming in the river, for instance. It'd always be the fear that you're going to have something kind of float into your mouth that you didn't expect. Back past the liverboards again. Doors open and enough solar panels to power half of Bedfordshire. Oh, sorry, we're in Cambridgeshire. I always forget that this is Cambridgeshire. I'm just letting the current sort of drift me and the wind pushing my nose around a little bit there, and just watching the reeds as I drift back down. The water lilies opening up as the evening approaches. And this is where we saw the swans on the way up in our journey.
And all too soon my journey was coming to an end. I'd had a fantastic day out on the river and found out an awful lot more about my inflatable kayak, which I hope to focus a lot more on in coming episodes of our adjoining series, Another River. Stay tuned, keep watching, and I'll see you again soon.